God's timing can be so hilarious at times because I'm in a stage of my life where I'm really at a point of just let God kind of figure out, not figure out, but let God decide who comes in and out of your life in whatever seasons that you're in. Because last year I was so neglective in kind of questioning God's decisions of like, oh, people that were in my life that are no longer in it, or people that he's kept in my life, random like little trinkles of people that are in there for a little bit, they make some impact, whether it's positive or negative, and then they're gone. Because today, it kind of happens when you least expect it, when you meet certain like interesting people. I did a favor for someone, I would consider them my acquaintance, like I've seen them around as of recently the last couple of weeks, and I guess I didn't realize how much in common and how much more this person actually was like, oh, I actually could be pretty like good friends with this person. After literally just like a small conversation, I'm like, damn, we got a lot of common, same cultural background, around the same age. Honestly, someone I haven't really seen like that, but usually when I do, it's kind of rare, but usually just like boom, click, just like that. Like even if, especially if the boys are easy, but even girls, like if I notice we have the same common interests, same cultural background and stuff like that, it already clicks. And today I didn't run into one of those people. I kind of just found out that one of the people that I have been seeing around recently does kind of meet that criteria. And I already have, this is funny. I have a little bit of a soft spot already when it comes to people that share the same cultural background as me and are around that same age range, even if it's younger, which usually is not seen because I'm still either the same age or maybe a little bit older. If you're Filipino, that is the culture I'm talking about. If you have a Filipino background, I'm already gonna have a soft spot for you in terms of like, I feel like I'm just gonna click with you better. You kind of just understand a lot of the cultural background, how you're raised, stuff like that, kind of inside jokes of things that you only know if you are Filipino. And on top of that, if you already have other similar interests, like you play similar sports with me, for example, like volleyball, or if you're active or you watch certain things that I watch, like Marvel or certain movies or just certain topics I already screw with, I'm probably gonna be like, yo, we chill, easy, just like that, kind of like unspoken type of clicking. But I'm coming across and finding out that this person is a bit kind of a nice, like, it's nice to run across somebody like that, kind of nice breath of fresh air. But I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be gone for a minute in a couple weeks. But at the same time, you know, if they're there down the line, they're there down the line, whatever it is. If you just met them, you did a little favor for them, it's connection you have, whatever it is. You know, God does things for a reason. He puts people into your life and out of your life for a reason. And you getting to be able to accept that does take a little bit of just giving in to God. Of there's certain people that you want to keep in your life, even if it's bad. If you're someone who moves around a lot, military, for example, you're all over the place. For me, I am not even all over the place. I'm all over the place and far all over the place. I'm in such a different locations, very far, thousands of miles away from home. And there's so many people back at home that I would love to keep more friends, but even the ones I was close to, there's a lot of people I've been close to that I haven't spoken to in a long time. I was really tight with them. I was back at home in the last year and a half that I've been in service. Maybe heard them once, maybe once. I've wished they were more evident, but at the same time, distance and time and different paths, they kind of just come in a natural course, and you got to let it run its course. And the people that stick around, keep them. If they stick around, they're supporters. They're there to be honest with you. They're there to keep in touch with you. Make sure, you know, pray, even if they're religious too, pray for the stuff that you're going through. You pray for the stuff that they're going through. Distance, you notice this with, if you get distance relationships, not just romantic relationships, I'm talking about friendships as well. Either it's dudes or coworkers, old teammates, stuff like that. Those certain connections that you do build that do maintain strong, you do realize that distance and time and all that is not really an excuse to valid use, because I believe that if you do really care and have a genuine like appreciation for somebody, it don't matter how far you guys are from each other, even if it's a periodic every once a month or so, you guys still do make that effort to keep in touch. Because everyone has time. It's a matter of how much do you care to make that time. The topic of this video obviously is the world is bigger than it's a small world. Like this big world is a small world, and you start to realize that in the military a lot more. Military seems pretty vast, but you start noticing people that know people that you know, connections in between, mutual connections. You talk to people that have been in for a minute and they're like, oh yeah, you know that person that works downstairs? Like, yeah, we were on this mission like a couple years ago, and actually we were out there, and then now we work in the same building. You never know who you're going to cross down in your career paths. This is even evident across people non-military. Sometimes it just happens. And people got them stories where you just come across people that you used to know years back. And maybe y'all work in the same building now. Maybe y'all work in the same office. Maybe y'all work on the same team. Maybe y'all go to the same school, same program. Don't burn those bridges. But I thought it was really interesting that the person that I would describe as like, oh, a girl, like a type of girl that I would be just instantly like just kind of clicky with, because I've had this happen a lot of times, especially like in my younger years of high school, where there was a certain type and criteria of a girl. If they hit those points, I clicked with them in like a day, a week. Like we were close within a week or two, just like that. It's pretty simple. And then I'd be tight with them for whatever, how long that chapter season of them being in my life and me being in their life. And then after that, I remember them as one of my closer friends, quality friends, and we go our different paths. But to be more specific, I will say, like, for example, if you're someone who plays either like volleyball or basketball, someone who is active, someone that likes to be active, someone who likes to be always working towards something, you're productive, you have goals in mind, even if you have a religious mindset, that's a plus. I don't think it's a necessary, but it's a plus because there's just more things to talk about, more things to relate on. On top of that, if you have your own interests in like watching like cute comic book movies like Marvel or DC, or watching certain Netflix shows, if you grew up watching, this is pretty uncommon for my age range, correct me if I'm wrong, if you grew up watching things like Friends and Big Bang Theory and Full House, and I grew up a lot more on CDs instead of the actual like television shows. The only television things I really remember watching that wasn't on CD was like WWE, and when I was younger, things like Bubble Guppies and Umizoomi, but I don't really talk about having those. More so, I would talk about the fact I grew up with stuff like watching Digimon and Pokemon as I was growing up. And I guess you can say early high school years, me, when I used to watch like a bunch of anime, with picking up things like Haikyuu, and I've watched the mainstream stuff. I've watched One Piece, Bleach, not too much of Naruto. I've watched Hunter x Hunter, a lot of those mainstream, Death Note, etc. I have watched those in my first like younger years of high school, freshman, sophomore year, even a little bit starting in 8th grade. But if you hit those simple points to kind of match those points in my background, and on top of that, we share a cultural understanding already of like we're both Filipino, we're both coming from a certain part of the States. If you come from me, I'm from the Bay, I'm from Cali, I grew up in Sacramento, I grew up in the Bay Area. If you have that, any of you that's watching that I just shared a bit of my background. But if you're from there, hey man, I'm telling you, hit me up in my DMs, hit me up in the comments. I'll probably click with you pretty easy, just like that. It's a small world. Even people you meet online, you might not ever know, you might end up seeing them in person. I have a whole friend group that grew up on an online basis. We all grew up playing video games, and we all started this group that would do a charity event every year playing Call of Duty Zombies. I'm serious. This is not no advertisement. They are gonna do it again this year. I've been pretty disincluded because I've been on my own stuff, on my own path. I really don't have the availability to be able to help them, but I'll always worse. But we made a vast, like very big friend group, and we're all online basis. Some of them have met each other in person before. We had like the big first meetup. Our big first meetup was 2 years back. After I graduated high school, that was kind of the window of like, hey, RJ's graduating high school, one of the main people in the group. He's able to, you know, come out and see us too, that everyone else has already been past that high school age where they're kind of on their own 2 feet and they can kind of do whatever they want to do. But that allowed me, when I was 18, to go travel out to New Jersey, over to Ohio. I have vlogs up on this same channel to go see them for the first time, people I've known for years. And now I consider them real friends, right? I can consider them real friends. I saw about a dozen of them. They're gonna see each other this year. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be busy doing work-related stuff, so I won't be able to see them this year. But I got a boy up in Scotland. I gotta put up that vlog eventually, man. Just literally put up the clips together and just put it out. It honestly shouldn't take that long. But I might see him on a maybe bi-yearly basis. Not bi-yearly. I'll see him twice a year, once or twice a year, because he's not really that far from me. But the world is a small place. That's the emphasis. And when these certain people are introduced to you in your life, man, capitalize on it. You know, don't over prioritize them. Do what you got to do. But at the same time, you know, go make that connection. Memories is what I chase. I chase memories, undoubtedly. I think that's what I live for. That's what I value the most, is making memories. And you can make memories off of achievements too, like achievements that get you more of a bag, more of a career expansion, if you making more of a living. And those are our memories, but I'm talking about memories in terms of connecting with other people. You can have solo memories. I definitely have a couple. I feel like I'll get some major memories as I'm going more into my early adulthood here, with maybe some solo traveling experiences, whether the first time I solo camp, or the first time I do a big solo hike, or the first time I big solo travel to a different country. Those will be memories too, of like, hey, obviously I'm by myself, but in those times when I'm kind of on a solo running, I'll probably just end up meeting random people, because it is just me. I'll probably be recording and vlogging that stuff. But just go around and meeting the locals. Whatever stores I'm running through, whatever cafes or restaurants, my apologies, whatever restaurants I'm running through, and just meet people. I would personally, what I want to do when I start traveling again, probably more emphasize next year, towards the latter end of the last couple months of this year, of when I do hit these different countries, just take a little moment to spread the word, find a random local and be like, hey, I'm just curious, so like, what do you think about Jesus? Are you religious? And depending on their answer, and ask if I could pray for them, ask a little bit about their background, where they're at in their life, get a little piece of seeing a different perspective, and then offering that word of the gospel for them. Simple, very simple, spreading of the faith. And a big emphasis on what I eventually want to expand on, which is being able to give that value in my dreams and my aspirations, which is documenting your life, being a videographer, how you can really achieve that angle of how do you use videography, how to use camera work, how to use documenting your life to be able to achieve what you want to do. It could be anything. It really could be anything. If you learn to just document stuff, get creative with it, you can follow whatever type of dream you want. And I want to root all of that principle and that idea through God. Because everything I'm doing, even shooting this video and stuff like that, posting it, and what I do on a day-to-day basis, every single thing I'm doing is rooted through a God principle. On a God principle. Because every single sin is related to something you do every day. It's a matter of how you're doing it. The stuff you put in your body, the stuff you eat, the things you're saying, the things that come out of your mouth, the thoughts that go through your head, every thought that goes through your head, lustful thoughts, negative thoughts, like preying on people's downfall, or being too greedy, or being so comparative to your life compared to others' lives. All of those things can be rooted through God, regardless if you're religious or not religious. It does not matter. If you see the value in those teachings from the Bible, from God's words, from the faith of those that are religious, there is no reason why you shouldn't follow those principles. You do not need to believe God at all. Take God out of the picture, just listen to the words that the people are saying. Those that are religious. Whether you like it or not, from our perspective of those who are religious, we're gonna say that, you know, what we're teaching you and the value you're gaining is from a religious belief. But you can take that out if you want. Religion and all that should not be forced onto anybody. It is your belief, your choice, absolutely all that. I will super emphasize that always. But yeah, big picture image of what this video is this big earth with a lot of people on it is still a small world. Take in those connections, cherish those connections, don't take them for granted. Make those connections when you see them. When you come across those people, you think, oh, this person's pretty cool. Like, we have a lot of common interests, a lot of common culture background. I can see myself being pretty good friends. And don't let your restraints and your consequences, like your situation, whatever you're at in your life, don't let that be a reason not to make those connections. I think I had a big emphasis with this last year, where maybe I'd meet people during my tech school where they had a couple weeks left, and I'd still be super emphasizing, I'm gonna still get close to this person as much as I can. There were so many like small bursts of friendships. Talking about, I was friends with them for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but those 2 or 3 weeks make them a connection of like, I enjoyed those 2 and 3 weeks with them. Those little like quick memories I've had with them, those are memorable, happy, positive memories that I live for. Like, I'm not gonna forget those memories for a pretty long time. I have pictures that help me still follow them on my social media, so when I see them, I remember why I'm still connected with them, why I follow them, and the memories we did share even in that short span of time. And who never knows? Who never really know who you might come across again. This is a little bit deeper. Like, my first love, for example, the person I can genuinely say was probably who taught me, and when I look back on it, it's like, this is the first time genuinely loving somebody, was someone that was in my life earlier, in my early childhood, a big 2-year gap, and then 2 years down the line. There was obviously connections still lying there, my mom, but who could you know? You didn't need to meet that person. That person was actually still an extension of someone else, right? There was a branch between a branch, a tree leading to another tree. It wasn't a direct path. Don't let that person, and even if it was a couple of months, summer fling or whatever you want to call it, one spring, couple seasons, 2.5 seasons, maybe about half the year, a little more. That's still one of my most memorable experiences, and I learned so much from that experience, and I take a lot from that experience in terms of a growth lens. Like, me from the initial first going through those, looking back on them and be like, damn, I've come so far. One person that I didn't know that I would come across again in my life was the reason for a lot of those. We didn't live near each other. 3-hour difference between each other, neither of us had cars, and there was still that much of an impact. You never know who you come across again. You never know how much you can keep in touch with someone regardless of different directions that you guys are on. So that's your signal. The world is small, value your connections, keep it true, keep your faith in God. If you're not religious, learn a little something. Take some value from the Bible, take some value from teachings, from sermons or speeches that are rooted through Christian belief or whatever religious belief. And man, just take it to heart. Add it to your life. It's really invaluable information. But that's all I got from me. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Any of y'all that's seen this, feel free to check me out on all my socials. I'm not gonna be posting as much over the next couple of months, but I'm gonna try to keep doing these, starting to head out the window, my bit of a hiatus. That's all I got. Love y'all.